What is up, Truth and Transparency? Happy Thursday. Live streaming here. Court starts in 28 minutes and 31 seconds. So, this is again Brian Culver's first time appearing in Ada County. Ann Taylor put in a street close motion. Just so everybody knows, he would not be wearing jeans, but she wants him to be able to wear a suit and tie like he's been wearing with the dress coat. So what's nice about the Idaho 4th District Court is they provide a little 1 hour at least notification, if not more. This is something that Judge did not do before. So we have the countdown here, so that's nice to see. So again, come on in, share it, let's go. This starts in, like I said, 27 minutes. So 27 minutes. So, ooh, cheers. Again, hello to the moderators, everybody. Let's see. They have 120 people waiting, guys. All right. We're going to have to blow Ada County out of the water right here. So let's start pouring in here. And I want to thank all of you guys that commented, and we're talking about different ways to, crowdsource and fund for a summer to be able to give exclusive content and coverage for the Idaho 4 case. And I think I've picked how I'm going to do this. I have so much material. And I think we're pretty organized over here at Truth and Transparency that I want to raise my funds. If I start now, I can get it all together, but I want to create an official Idaho 4 official trial cliff notes and pamphlet that it would be like you'd be able to download it, and it's going to have everything that I would be using to follow along with the trial. I'll have, basically different definitions for different words, who people are, things like that. But your go-to with the Idaho 4 case, and then all the trial slips that I kind of create. And so if you're following at home, and then all the updates that I make, and it would be a $19.99, and that way you're getting something for your donation. So, and I think it'd be really helpful for people, so I want to thank, it's actually a couple different people kind of said it in different ways. And so I want to thank those people that wrote in, and then I'm going to put my little twist on it, but it'll be like a PDF form. So that way, you at home, you can just it's downloadable. So, but I'm going to have a lot of maps in there. So yeah, all different versions of the white Honda Elantra. Okay, this is your 1999 picture. This is your 2014 picture. So would you be able to send it to UK? Yeah, I think that you would be able to just click the link. It would be downloadable for you. Scrap that if it's downloadable. Yeah. Okay. But each little cool, what's interesting is I'll probably say I'll probably only have it this many pages. And then knowing me, it'll be like the superest, deepest dive you can ever imagine. So, but anyways, I'll just donate. Can't donate on much from Australia. Well, usually when we're covering the court cases, because the time change, hopefully that helps. Because remember, Eastern Standard Time, then and Boise. So we'll be during the summer. It'll be a 2-hour difference. It should be. Anyways, do you need people to help you while you're there? I'm gonna try to do both. So I'm gonna try to do. If they do a good job with listing who these witnesses are going to be in the order that they're doing it, that's going to help me out a lot. Basically a whole case binder you can print off for $20. Hell yeah, right? All you got to do is pay for your paper and your in your binder. You know what? I could probably put some merch together and ship out them damn binders. But again, this is a work in progress. But I figure if I go ahead and if you guys have ideas still, please, get them coming in or whatever. But I really want to, I have all this material. And so I could probably create some cool ass shit. And there'll be an official PowerPoint presentation. Me and Lady Di gonna do that. So yeah. What's up, nerds and virgins? Yep, Stevie, you know how we do it here. Should I ask Anne to do a selfie with me? Yes. Yes. Actually, just tell her that Lana says hi and she loves her. Ask her if she got my flowers. Tell her I got hers and I thank her. Yeah, so we want this to be like a team, complete team effort. But I'm telling you, everybody that's going to be following this case, they're going to be like, oh my God, I need to get one of those. I need to get one of those pamphlets, right? But so my goal is, the way that I projectile all of this is that, if I can sell between 1,000 to 2,000 pamphlets, that's my goal, because I want to have I would love to be able to donate to one of the Innocence projects as part of this, or to like a case that like we all agree on or something like that. But it's always good to pay it forward, or be able to say, hey, you know what? I want to take $5,000 of that money and buy my own Cellbrite software. Lana, what? Yeah, I do. Okay, that's what I want. So for Christmas, guys, I want Cellbrite software. So, I hope you aren't feeling left out in the dark. So again, who's gifting people? I see a gift. Yeah. Because I want to split up the pamphlet and to be like, create your. You guys remember those books where it was like create your own ending? If you think it's like the drugs in the sorority and the fraternity, turn to page 12 and if you think it's the cartel and or if you think that it's Brian Kohlberger, so pick your own ending type thing. You guys remember those books? I love those books. You get to like pick, if you want to, if you want to go this path, if you want to go that path. So you guys know what I'm talking about. So, yeah. Can someone please give me a membership? Just so you guys know, make sure memberships are on so that you can get one of those. But it's all random. It's all random. So 10 people, though, just turned green. So, yeah, it's a choose your own adventure book, right? Choose your own suspects. So, a Clue TNT binder, man. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Again, welcome all. Come on in. I think it'll just be a great way. Lana, that's just the flow chart, and I love flow charts too. I'm just flowing over here. Doc Terry, woo, 10 people. Real life clues, so neat. Yeah. So, but I want all of you guys. So if you guys if some of you guys are good at like graphics, or some of you guys are good at like whatever it is that you think that your forte is. I know we got some people that are awesome PowerPointers, and then we got some people that are awesome timeliners. And then I want to make it so that this pamphlet, we're going to have all the clickable links. So when you're in it and you're going through it, because it would be like digital, that you could click right there. Boom, it's a link. You just click it and it takes you to what I need you to go, like what you want to see. So this is going to be a TNT masterpiece, but I figure it should be, because this is pretty much the case that I said that I would do in real time. I said, okay, well, I'm going to give YouTube a go here. So, yeah. It starts like in 19 minutes and 3 seconds. So, Canadian true crime buff. Cheers. Thank you. Those of you guys that did not see, Frank Atropa was arrested. Okay. 9/8/2024. Those of you guys that don't know, but I've been working behind the scenes with the Sheldon case for a long time, since 2021. But more importantly, I brought in some heavy hitters to look at that case with everything that I was able to do. Then it's like, okay, here, you want to say, hey, can you look at this and see if you want to check my work. So that's where you want to go get like an expert to be like, and one of those people, Scott Roeder, I believe that's the stage is a staged crime scene. It was with Sheldon's case that he was convicted on. And there were some other things, the timeline where the 911 call originated, things like that. So if you guys don't know that, check out Sunset Secrets, all my stuff to do with Aliquippa. It's on my page channel. But congratulations, everybody who snagged up a green bar. If your name is in green, your name is good. So what we can expect here, I'll tell you what we're going to be expecting. Well, first of all, we get a good little look at the new judge, get a feel for him, see how he's going to command the courtroom a little bit. Then we know that everything was like ixnayed as far as dates, but just because they were ixnayed doesn't mean that they're not trying to keep those, right around those dates to have happen. My biggest thing that I'm looking for is what's going to go on with this discovery. So because remember that deadline was 9/6/2024, and then the change of venue. So we'll see what happens. If they want to have this be in the summer of 2025, they're going to have to stick to those very, very close to the dates that we have. So when is BK's trial date? Well, right now it's set for June of 2025 at the beginning. I think Hipple will make things happen much quicker, and the state's going to throw a fit, says Sarah. Well, we'll see. How do you get a gifted membership? You have to turn on memberships. I think you do that like in your settings. Bill Thompson is here. Thompson is present. Love you back. Bill Thompson there. Crafts and Crime, they're on the ground there. Boots on the ground in Boise. So we'll have some feedback live. Did Santa ever receive his mug? I think he peed in it. The lawyers just went in. So did you get a selfie of Ann outside there? Make sure that she's dressed the nines. What else do we have? Yep. So dates. I think everything is going to go smoothly as far as streaming this. They're going to stream it on this YouTube channel. I want to see how big the courtroom is. I want to see if that's going to be the courtroom where everything's going to happen. But I think any surprises are coming. I think that I don't see why the judge isn't going to grant Brian Kober to be in a suit and tie. But I'm interested to hear that. Let's see. Remember, we have the death penalty that's on the table. This is a capital case. So a lot of things have to start moving on the prosecution's end to start answering. And so right now somebody's working very diligently to answer. I think Jay filed 10 to 15 motions striking. You guys know a lot of that. A lot of they want to say it's boilerplate, but it is and it isn't. I think Jay beefed it up a lot, me personally. Oh, wow. YouTube chooses who gets the membership. Strange. Oh, yep. They've always chose. It's all random. And honestly, I think it also has to do with if you're a heavy commenter, if you comment a lot, I think that helps your chances with getting a membership, by the way. If you're in here or wherever you go. And even if you are, I want to say, I don't know if they changed it, we would always be able to tell who was like lurking and never commenting because like poof, they would be like green all of a sudden. And it's like, oh my God, haha, you got a membership and you're a hater of mine. Love it. So Whiskey Jack, thank you so much. But yeah, my philosophy is on that is usually if I ever go to someone's channel, I am always like saying hi and writing. I've never really watched a channel that I can't say like that. Oh, I'm watching, but I don't comment. That's just, I don't know, it's just weird for me. But there's always times that if I pop in and say hi, and then if I don't comment for a decent amount of time, it's probably because I was like in and out, in and out. So I'm not sure if the G family is there or not. As soon as I know, you guys will know. What else? What else am I expecting? So these dates, I don't expect any. I think he's gonna try to get a feel at where we're all at, where everybody's at, in order. I think he's gonna make it very clear that in order to stay on the path of having this June trial, like these dates are pretty. I can just tell you this: the prosecution and the defense are not going to be writing up the orders anymore. That makes sense. Okay. This judge is going to be writing up the orders. It's not going to be, okay, you guys come to an agreement, write up the order, and then I'm going to sign it. That's what Judge was doing. You could see that a lot. So is the live stream on yet? No. The live stream isn't on yet. It's right here. Oh, did it cut it off? Let's take a look. It starts at 4 o'clock. So you're about 12 minutes out. Oh, they said that they're live. Let's see. Yep, no, we're on the right one. Okay. Just double check for everybody. We're good. Boom. What's up, Austin? How you doing? Again, hello, afternoon, everybody. Good morning, wherever you're at. Would be amazing if the judge just dismissed this, right? No family, no Brian yet. My heart is pounding. Lana, we are 2 hours behind you. That is correct. So it's about to be 4 o'clock here. This hearing is at 2 o'clock that time. So it's 4 o'clock our time. I don't see anybody. The dismissal isn't even on the docket. I think that we can expect to see another bail hearing for Shannon Gardner. It's 10 p.m. over here. It's 10 p.m. Oh, wow. I love when I see where everybody's at. Billable hours. I like that name. Get them billable hours. That's how you can catch a good lion lawyer, by the way. If you ever want to know what your lawyer's working on, just go straight to your billables. Billable hours. I usually never catch lives, but may I just tell you, you are on a whole new level. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I like that. I like that name. Name's pretty sweet. That's how I caught a lot of. I'm a therapist. There you go. See, billable hours. Well, good. Thank God I ain't a lawyer. It's 10 p.m. in London. It's 12:51 in Oregon. Is anybody anywhere else that's wild time? It's 2 p.m. on the East Coast of. How about P Diddy, man? Whoa, P Diddy. He's never getting out. New York, New York. Lana, I had homemade pizza today. Oh, who looks very skinny in person? Smash that thumbs up. Come on, guys. It's almost 3 o'clock in Minnesota. Somebody wrote that watching Brian Kober's hearing is like the Super Bowl of true crime. I tried to find it. It was up there. Mississippi woman, welcome. All the new people, welcome. Yeah, I'm telling you, if you guys want a membership, comment. It helps you. I was lurking on your last live. Loved it. You're on fire. Thanks. All I know is Eminem did a great job. Lana, I noticed court stream is not set on DVR settings, so no rewinding. That's good. We'll just keep it flowing. Greetings from California. Hello, Callie. We are on a 7-minute countdown. I'm thinking this is going to be kind of quick. That's my. I'm thinking this is going to be max 30 minutes max. Like that's even, I think, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. This is going to be quick. So for example, I went back and looked at the be it known that the following proceeding where it had to wit. I went back and looked at the court noted the presence of counsel and the defendant and stated that the defendant is still in custody. Court noted that all parties were appearing via Zoom. This was back in January 27th. Well, this is when this was filed. Yeah, that's when it happened. It started at 12:47 and it was over at 1:05, and it was a status conference. So we'll see. Court stated that this is the time set for the status conference. Court stated that this is a sealed recording of the proceeding, and the minutes will be sealed in the court file. Court stated that Ms. Taylor is the appointed public defender for the Kootenai County, and that Ms. Taylor's name is on nearly all letterhead for the Kootenai County Public Defender's Office, whether she is acting attorney or not. Remember that? So I want to take a look at that. Oh, Karen. Karen, the last time you had us all thinking that this was United States of America money. All right. But let's just pretend it is. Holy hell, Karen, $999.99. Oh my goodness. Now you have to convert it. Karen, $999 is what? I think it is, I don't know. I'm going to say, is that like $75? Let me see if my math is right. But let's just pretend. Oh my God, Karen! $999! Karen, I think regardless, it is amazing. You're gonna make me use my brains. $1 million. What do we got? We have 755 people in here. How many thumbs up do we have? Let me check. $60. It's a lot, Lana. I know. I thought it was. I see my math was off. I thought it was like 75. I knew that it was like 23 times 3. That's how I did it. I'm just gonna leave that though. Where is that? I'm gonna do it like this. Because I'm going to. Oh, Jen. Hi. Cheers. 5 gifted truth memberships. How about you guys? I thought this said Coffin Daffer. Coffin Daffer became a member. Coffin Daffer coming on over here. Karen be throwing it down. Jenna, thank you. Stevie, pop the top. There you go, Stevie, pop the top. $269. Oh, that's so low. 780 people are in here. All you gotta do is slide down. Boop boop. I just did my JLR best. You guys ever watch JLR? And he does this like, man, we were going, then we saw a car, and he was, and then we went this way, and it was like, JLR's always got the, I guess you could say, audio cool effects. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? No JLR over here. Gretchen, $11.22. You know why? 1122. Now we can all honestly say, Cobra Pimpin'. Cobra Pimpin'. I'm gonna fit 51 terabits in one binder. Look out. It's gonna be the best Cliff Notes you've ever seen in your life. What time does court start? They better not be on Bev's time. Court starts, you guys, in 2 minutes. And if you guys need your fix, JLR is chasing hurricanes. So go check out if you want to chase some hurricanes with JLR right now. Choose Your Own Adventure books is my favorite. Dead silence in here, man. You could hear a pin drop. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. There is a new judge. And let's see if he's going to be taking some. Listen here, I'm not taking any shit. You hear me? Brian, you're going to be looking like an orange little pumpkin the rest of the days until we have trial. You hear me? Yes, sir. It's your honor. Yes, Your Honor. I'm standing in silent, though. Ann Taylor, you will not be wearing any mini skirts up in here. Do you hear me? And that goes for you, Jennings. Santa Claus, you will be dressed in all red during the month of December. Do you hear me? And you're going to bring Mrs. Claus with you. Everybody else, you are all allowed to wear any shirt you want that says Brian Colbert is to be shot and killed. Lana, pick your minute plus theory. Go. Oh. My theory is that the cops didn't do their job and that they fabricated evidence and that they better hope and pray that this case doesn't get thrown out. That's my 1 minute wrap up. And why do I think that? Because I went through every damn search warrant and we got some problems. Got a lot of problems. Enjoy you, but where did Rory go? I have no idea who that is. Rory, I've never been on a channel with a sidekick. So probably if you want to see Rory, you have to go to his channel. Oh, here we go. Turn it up in the headphones. Oh my God, Brian Colbert is in street clothes. There you go. Brian Colbert in a suit and tie. He looks really well. Look at that, you guys. Look.
All rise. This
Oh,
court is now in session.
all rise. Here we go. Right on time.
Be seated. All right. Good afternoon. This is State v. Koberger, Want to go over the appearances this afternoon on behalf of the state. Would state attorneys please represent themselves for the record?
Thank you, Your Honor. My name is Bill Thompson. I'm the Lake County prosecutor. This Ashley Jennings, she's my senior deputy. And then we have Mr. Nye and Ms. Beatty from the Attorney General's office. And then we have victim support staff with us.
All right, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Defense?
Ann Taylor, attorney for Brian Koberger, Elisa Massa, and Jay Logston, counsel for Mr. Koberger as well.
Thank you. All right. Like to tell you I'm happy to be here, but why start with an untruth? I am accepting of my responsibility to be here. I want to go over with you some expectations of mine, given that I don't think any of you, other than Ms. Massoth, have appeared in front of me before. When you file memorandums of law, briefs, etc., please provide a Word copy by email to my staff attorney. After today's hearing, you may get that from staff here today. Today, I know there was an issue that was brought up with respect to Mr. Koberger's attire for today. I did issue an order yesterday permitting him to appear in civilian clothes for this hearing only. That is a matter in terms of future hearings that we will take up in a closed hearing the day of, but in advance of whatever our next hearing date will be. My intention will be that Mr. Koberger will not be present for that hearing because part of what we will be discussing are security measures. And I expect to hear from the transport deputies and the bailiffs regarding security issues that they want to address or that I have questions for them about so that I can make an appropriate ruling in terms of his appearance here, but weighing that not just against, of course, his rights, but also against the needs of security in this case. I do expect, as it probably will come to no surprise to you, for you all to get along. I understand the stakes in this case are as high as they can possibly be in any case, but you are professionals. You have taken oaths, both as of officers within your jurisdictions, but also as attorneys before this bar. So I expect at all times for you to remain civil to one another, that you not engage in personal attacks, ad hominem attacks, that you not engage in theatrics, not misstate the facts or the law to the court, and that when you cite arguments in your briefs, if there is contradictory precedent, I expect to see that. I appreciate in advance what should go without saying that I've just said in terms of your responsibilities. But again, I just want to highlight that because I understand when the stakes are high, sometimes victory seems to be the objective when our first objective is to conform to the oaths that we've taken as members of the bar, as officers of this court. All right. I do have some matters with respect to scheduling that I want to go over today, but before I do that, I'd like to hear from you with respect to the matters that you either need to make me aware of or want to make me aware of. The other thing before I do that, though, I do know that Judge had entered a non-dissemination order. That still remains in place. And unless I, for some reason, remove that order, it will stay in place. And I expect it to be religiously adhered to by all parties, counsel, victims, counsel for the victims. And I will not tolerate violations of that. Likewise, I know that much of the evidence in this case has been subject to orders sealing under that dissemination order or otherwise have been sealed by the court. I likewise expect everyone that has access to that information, whether it's sealed documents or information in sealed hearings or the information itself in the documents, to adhere to the confidentiality expected as it relates to those. Okay, that's my one and only lecture for you for the remainder of this case. With that, let me hear from you. We'll start with counsel for the state.
Your Honor, I don't know that we have specific questions we want to propose today. We're looking forward to hearing the scheduling. I think that's going to drive for us, particularly the distance involved, any questions that we may have. I appreciate what you've already mentioned to us, and we will certainly honor all of that. Thank you, sir.
Taylor?
Thank you, Your Honor. There are a few issues that I wanted to make the court aware of as the court decides on the scheduling order. We want the court to know that our team has been working towards the June of 2025 trial date that had been issued by Judge in the case. But in candor to the court, I need to let the court know some issues that have come up that we face that causes me concern. First, I think the court's probably aware of the vast amount of discovery that's been exchanged in the case by reviewing the record. But since August, we have received about 398 gigabytes of new information, and I can tell the court that nobody on the team has read every bit of that yet. So there's a vast amount of discovery to continue to go through, and I wanted the court to be aware of that. The second thing is that during the course of this case, we had an expert that we were working with, and that expert passed away. We have been able to refill that role to have a new expert to do the work that that expert was hired to do, but we are not progressed to the point that I'd hoped to be through no fault of the new expert. The court should be aware of that as well. And last, as the court is very well aware, the system of delivering public defense is changing next week. As appointed counsel in the case, I do not have a contract yet. Nobody on my team is under contract for this case. I'm concerned about what that means, and I thought the court should be aware. Further, we have been able to access funding to help us prepare this case through Idaho Criminal Rule 12.2. At the current time, we're working with about 25 experts and investigators to prepare the case. I don't know if 12.2 will continue to be the way to get funding for those experts and investigators, or if that's changing. And I thought the court should know those things. Thank you.
Thank you. So I am hopeful that Mr. Fredrickson will ensure that a contract is available for you and your team next week. I have no control over that, of course, other than to, as it relates to who I permit to withdraw from this case or not withdraw from this case. As to 12.2 funding, my understanding is, and I've had a discussion with Judge Munson, who has been serving, as I understand it, as what we refer to as the money judge. I've asked him to remain in that capacity at least through the transition to the state public defense system in next week on October 1. My understanding is, and perhaps I will come to find out something different, but that once it goes to that system 12.2 as it relates to public defense funded attorneys on contract seeking 12.2 funding, that's no longer a thing, that would come through the state public defense budget, essentially. I guess we'll find out if that becomes a problem down the road, but that's my understanding, because that whole system that 12.2 is based upon is coming to an end. So given your statement about the trial date, my proposal to move this case forward into May is probably not going to land well with you, but that's what I wanted to talk about, is the timing of the trial. I'm concerned with a trial as currently set for a number of reasons, but first I want to find out from you, as you sit here today, what that trial looks like in terms of the number of weeks of trial, starting from after a jury is selected through the end of the evidence and before any potential sentencing phase. So what are your estimates of that?
Your Honor, I think it would be a fair estimate based on what we know at this point to have a month and a half or perhaps a bit more just for the evidence for the guilt phase of the trial. I say that knowing,
Both just, is that just your evidence or does that include defense evidence?
well, I was just getting ready to say, I say that understanding or acknowledging that Ms. Taylor has estimated 2 to 3 months total. I do not know, we do not know what the defense has in mind for their case right now. So all I can speak to is what we anticipate for ourselves. But I would think the state's evidence in chief should be able to come in a month and a half or so.
Okay. Ms. Taylor?
Your Honor, we estimate 4 weeks for the defense portion of the trial case.
Of the guilt phase?
Yes, Your Honor.
So 10 weeks. In terms of if there is a penalty phase, should the defendant be convicted of one of the statutory qualifying offenses, how long do we estimate the penalty phase being?
Your Honor, from the state's perspective, I believe we're going to be relying heavily on the evidence that's introduced during the guilt phase, and that the additional evidence that would be brought in, unless there's something we learned from the defense about their experts, it is probably take no more than a week.
Taylor?
Your Honor, I would estimate 2 weeks for that part of any trial,
That's
for our evidence.
for your evidence.
Yes.
Okay. So my concern, because this trial is currently set to begin June 2nd and end approximately August 31st, is having it set to run the entire course of the summer, I think we will find to be difficult on jurors in particular. Jurors who may have children who are out of school in terms of being able to spend time, go on vacations with them, et cetera. That's one concern. The second concern is with school that typically starts in mid to late August, and jurors or parents who may have kids going off to school, the timing of that through August. And that's my primary concern about that time frame. I had 2 proposals. One was to start the trial in the evidence portion of the trial the first week of May. And the other would be to start the evidence in early September. And I'd like your thoughts on those. I'm not saying I'm have or necessarily will vacate the June trial date, but I want to look at alternatives here because I am concerned about that spread that takes the entirety of the summer.
And we hear you, Your Honor. By way of history, the summer, we advocated for that in Latah County because the courthouse is right across from the high school and the summer would have the students gone. If we were looking at the other 2 choices, we would propose May.
Taylor?
Thank you, Your Honor. Your Honor, I would have to advocate for September at this point, based on the 3 reasons that I gave the court before.
So I'm not going to worry about the public defense change because I think that will take care of itself. The one thing that you brought up the most, I mean, I understand there's a lot of evidence, but May is not tomorrow. May is many months away. So the one that concerns me that you brought up is your expert. I'm not asking you necessarily to give away any secrets prematurely that you may have in terms of defense strategy, but can you help me understand this expert if you're able to, and what their role is and what the prospects are?
Your Honor, it's really difficult to tell you much about the expert without giving away a lot. I can tell you that this is a very necessary expert for us to have on board. We've been able to find somebody to fill the role. I'm confident in the person that will fill the role. There just hasn't been enough time to get the work accomplished yet. I know that that doesn't tell the court a whole lot more than what I said before, but I really feel that that would disclose too much for me to say more. I could do so on an ex parte basis or with Judge Monson, our resource judge, but not in a public setting.
I understand. Do you anticipate being able to fulfill your obligations for your current expert disclosure deadline that was set by Judge?
No, not with a lot of confidence. I think that the work is going to take longer than to meet that deadline. I think if we met that deadline, I would have additional information that I would want to be able to present. And maybe I would have been stopped from that with that deadline.
So I don't have a motion to extend that date, obviously, and with the changes that occurred, I understand why you didn't file one out of the box, but the deadline, I think, is January 6th, something like that, if I'm not mistaken, for experts on the defense side.
That's one of our deadlines, Your Honor, yes.
I guess the state have anything to say in response?
Not knowing the details of the challenges Ms. Taylor and her team are facing, I don't really know how to respond further, Your Honor.
What do you think is a realistic deadline for you to be able to disclose your experts for everything? I'm assuming it was January, all save that one expert. But with respect to the expert you had to replace, when do you think you could disclose consistent with the scheduling order?
Other than the expert that had to be replaced, Your Honor, there were two separate deadlines. One was for trial experts and one was for mitigation experts. And I believe that I can make that deadline other than that one expert.
Can you tell me if the one expert is a mitigation or a trial expert?
A mitigation expert, Your Honor.
And what do you think you need for that mitigation expert in terms of a deadline? Compared, that mitigation deadline was,
I believe it was March. I don't recall the exact date.
yeah, so that's a long time from now. So, I have a lot of questions, but I'm hesitant to ask you the questions because I'm sure you're not in a position to answer them currently, given the forum. So, but March is a long time from now.
Your Honor, the time passes very rapidly, and I appreciate the court not asking questions I can't answer. I think if I had an end of April deadline for that one witness, I think we could make that deadline.
So understanding this is a mitigation expert, Thompson, how concerned are you about getting that disclosure closer to trial?
Closer to trial is somewhat relative. The end of April sounds like it would be on the eve of trial from the date the court is proposing. I think that would be, I'm not sure that would be realistic. And again, I'm not in a position to second guess
Sure.
what Ms. Taylor and her team are representing to the court. She had told us some time back that one of her experts had some health issues, and I think that she did tell us that that person had passed away and they were working on a replacement. If we're looking at a mitigation disclosure at the end of April, I don't know that we could be ready with all the final trial preparation for a May trial. I hate to say that, I feel like I'm cutting my own throat in a sense, but that's realistic.
Well, I can do one of two things. I can set a separate hearing ex parte to explore this further, but I frankly don't know how far that's going to get me. I mean, I can set a date, and my experience tells me that date will be complied with regardless, right? 24 hours in a day, but if you use enough of those hours, enough days in a row, you get it done if you have to. At the same time, I don't want to put unrealistic deadlines. And so I can do that. I can have an ex parte hearing, or we can go ahead and reserve September. I will throw it to you, Mr. Thompson, is what you want, what you would advocate for.
Yar, could I have just a moment?
Wow, this is going to be interesting.
Your Honor, we would trust the court to do the ex parte hearing, see what's there and make the best decision and tell us what the expectations are.
Well, do you want to do that later today, or you want to do it tomorrow? You need more time? You want to come back next week?
Your Honor, I had planned to leave town today. I have other case-related obligations tomorrow. I could do it as soon as this hearing's over if the court has time, or I can come back next week at the court's convenience.
I think we'll probably be finished in here by 3 if we were to do it immediately after. Are you comfortable with that? Does that give you enough time to get to the airport?
Yes, I believe it will, Your Honor.
All right. Well, we'll give that a shot. All right. If I move this one way or the other, I will adjust the various deadlines that are in here. I won't adjust the next deadline that you have, understanding that you may be already committed to it, which I think is the motions related to the defense's motion regarding the death penalty, if I'm not mistaken. Is that the next set of hearings that we have?
Those are now scheduled.
I believe that our briefs are due the 10th of next month with the hearing later this fall and a reply brief deadline for the defense. And we are on track to meet those deadlines, Your Honor.
I'm sorry, you were saying, counsel?
Your Honor, I'm guessing the court has received our motions already. I believe we were set for November the 7th.
I think the state's deadline for discovery has passed. Has the state complied with its discovery obligations?
Here we go.
Those outlined in judge's last order and other orders?
You have, Your Honor, and in fact, Ms. Jennings prepared a lengthy summary of all the discovery that was filed with the Latah County Court when our discovery deadline hit. It is lengthy, but there's a lot of discovery.
Sure.
We recognize
How
that
much of the, would you say 300 gigabytes?
398 since August 13th.
How much of that is new information?
Ms. Jennings could speak to that.
Ms. Jennings, can you speak to that?
Your Honor, the defense was given, and I'm not sure if this is what they're referencing, but they were given a copy of the OneDrive from the FBI. Most of that was cumulative discovery that they had already received in another fashion. I'm sure there were portions of it that was new information. I've not calculated how much of that was new. So I can only rely on Ms. Taylor's, what she's represented to the court on that.
Well, I don't think she knows because it doesn't sound like she's looked at it yet.
All of it, Judge.
All right. Well, I will talk when we're finished here with Ms. Taylor without the state present in a closed hearing. What else do we need to talk about today, or do you want to talk about today?
Nothing comes to mind right now, Judge. I know that there will be plenty of opportunity for other discussions. As far as your meeting with defense ex parte, do you want the state for any reason to stay around, or would you like us to get on the road back to Moscow?
Are you flying or driving?
Driving.
Okay, well, why don't you hang around just in case we need to, if I'm able to make a decision based on that, I can inform you what that is at least.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Anything further, other than your your motions regarding the death penalty, do you have any outstanding motions and the motion as it relates to Mr. Koberger's attire?
Your Honor, there's no outstanding motions right now. I do anticipate filing several motions in the motion to compel deadline. As far as discovery goes, I anticipate there may be some follow-up motions. I, of course, will first try to speak with the prosecutor to resolve those.
We got discovery
I think you'll
issues,
find
guys.
I'm probably more inclined to hear things more quickly than you're perhaps accustomed to in this case. So just be aware of that. It'd probably be more along the usual, 14-day timeline with respect to motions. If there's a lot that needs to be done with respect to them, we can talk about that. But okay.
On that point, Your Honor, as you can see, they're a multifaceted team. And on motions, we try to assign them to specific attorneys. On various motions, would it be acceptable to the court for those attorneys who are not actively arguing the motions to be able to participate remotely? Or would you like us to be present? We're happy to do either.
I'm fine with that. I just prefer those that are going to be arguing to be here just because it makes it easier to have that dialogue. So
Okay, thank you.
the others, if they want to appear remotely, that's fine.
Thank you.
And same for defense as well, depending on what defense wants to do. Okay. All right. Then if there's nothing else this morning or this afternoon, I guess we will be adjourned and have a discussion in a few minutes. All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Back in a few minutes once the courtroom is cleared.
All right, so I don't know if they're planning on coming back. It's very interesting. All right, so basically, welcome to Judge Hippler's courtroom. Ashley Jennings, I don't know what she's talking about, you guys, but if the discovery that they're referring to, 398 gigs, came from the FBI, I don't know how that would be repetitive. That's just like, that's asinine. That's why Judge had to sign the TUI. Okay. And then he did a subpoena and he signed. That's just wild that she's saying that. You guys heard it from Ann Taylor. Yeah, they consider they've met their deadline. We gave them everything that we have. Well, we heard it from Ann Taylor right there. There's going to be motions to compel because she has a motion to compel deadline because if they didn't get it, like they could do that, they got everything to us. But and then she is expecting more follow-up motions, and that's all with the discovery. Now, somebody from the defense team has passed away that was doing is an expert for the mitigating portion. And I think that the deadline Ann Taylor was looking for that would be at the end of April. I don't think Ann Taylor and team were looking for, okay, we're going to have this May 2nd date, or we're going to be picking a September, beginning of September date. For me, obviously, my bias in me wants it to be May, okay, because then it's better for me for my schedule. But doing his reasonings, guys, that he wants to do May, by the way, it has everything to do with the jury. It has everything to do with the jury. It has to do with the jury having parents on the jury that would have kids that want to be going on vacation, stuff like that, and how long they're saying that this trial would take. It'd basically be like the whole summer. Well, we talked about that in the beginning. And hold on one second. So now we're leaning towards a 10-week trial. So the defense is saying that it's going to take them a month to put on their part of the case. And the prosecution is saying it's going to take them like a month to a month and a half to put on their. And that's how we're getting to like this 10-week, 6 and 4. So 10. And I'm over here just wondering, like, why aren't we just splitting it and going after July 4th? I'm really confused as why we're not just doing a July 4th, or that way you give them, like, I'd go the week after July 4th week. Let the jury have the beginning of June. They have June and July 4th. But then it's like, you don't know if you're going to be on the jury until they, have jury selection. But how soon would those have to even go out? Like, it's just interesting that you're either like, I'm doing May 2nd or I'm doing September. Okay. Because if you go after July 4th, you're basically able to get it all in the summer. September, October. This would creep up and go right into like the anniversary, by the way, if they did September. You guys see this quickness? You guys see this quickness? Did you guys hear what he said in the beginning? He said, if there's a counter case, I want that in your brief as well. Like, if you're citing a case, but then there's a counter to that case and it exists, that needs to be filed with it. Like, we're not playing games here, okay? That means you're not going to try to be, you're not going to try to be like, at the end of the day, you're not going to try to mislead the courts. And we're here for truth and justice. So this is, and so I'm thinking, like, who does this favor in terms of the style of things? Bill Thompson's so like loose and like this. Like, Ann Taylor has a game plan. Ann Taylor's like very like, she's not just saying, okay, yeah, whatever the courts decide. Yeah, whatever the court. No, she's had a game plan since the beginning. And so like they're on a pace, and yeah. I'm just surprised that there isn't like that they're not splitting down the middle here and just saying, I don't know. About kids going back to school, about kids going off to college. Well, then I guess you just wouldn't have jurors that are on the jury that are having kids going off to college that summer. I mean, I think I think it's interesting his reasoning. You know, I will say this: like nobody wants to be on a jury duty all summer. I'll give you that. Awesome, I give you that, hands down. But I think to start this in August, I think to start this after July, like in the middle of July. But I think that that's just interesting. I think that that's very, very interesting. The sole reason for this is because not because, okay, listen, hey, our courtrooms are booked up, guys. Nope. It's because we can't have our jurors, like how are we going to be able to get jurors that are going to want to give up their whole summer? So, you ain't going to get any good ones, right? July is still a big vacay time. Yeah. But you heard now think about this. Now think about this. This is just tell you how off like judges are and like Bill Thompson is. This judge is like all summer. Um and here they all wanted to like, yeah, we want to have this summer trial in Moscow. And it's like, who the hell's gonna be on that jury? You know? You think we're gonna have any farmers get sure. Bro, I gotta work. It's interesting to hear when everybody throws in their perspective of things. I think it's interesting. And so I'm like, well, then why wouldn't you go with a September date? And then don't worry about summer at all. But that pushes back the trial June, July, August, 3 months. So it's like he's like thinking, okay, we can not push back the trial at all and actually just move it up a month. And then basically we're going to have, I disagree. You're going to have May, June. So that's going to be 2 months. So that's 8 weeks. And it's going to go through July 4th weekend then. So you're going to be to the middle of July then. May, June, middle of July. Well, for me personally, I want the May date because it's better for my schedule. But and then I guess the jurors would be able to know, like, hey, if you're going to be on this jury, if you have plans made already, don't you think people already had their summer plans made already though, when they're going to be doing jury selection? It's very interesting. But prayers going out to the passing of whoever was on the defense's, expert mitigating team. The expert or the Ann Taylor's told us all she has 25 experts on this case. They want to make sure they have their funding. They said that's probably not going to be a problem at all. She wants a contract. Nobody on her team is under contract. That's wild to me. And this lengthy summary of you guys know what I think Bill Thompson's talking about, right? The lengthy summary of all the discovery is everything that they've been doing when they file that, what days that they filed certain things. But I bet you they have specific things, kind of how in the Karen Reed case, it listed out, well, they would just like list all this stuff. And then lo and behold, what ended up happening at the end of Karen Reed cases before they went to trial, all these they were compelling as they went through the emails. Here, you have it here, you have it here. Where is this? So they can think that they've turned over all this discovery, but there's going to be a long motion to compel being filed. So also, did you hear the judge in the beginning? He's smacking us down with this gag order, and he's saying that, hey, counsels for the victims, I wouldn't be trying to do anything if I was anybody with this whole gag order and with this judge. He means business. He's saying we're going to go quicker. And I think this favors, I I personally think it favors Ann Taylor's team because I think Jay Lawson's really, really good with briefs and filing motions. So I think it favors. They all work out of the same office too, except for Mathis, and I think they have a good working relationship. And Bill's team, we didn't get to see him in the back, but he's like, we're kind of like all over the place. So I don't know. I think that truly favors the defense. I think the Gonsalveses have to be happy with this judge. If they aren't, I don't know what they're watching. This judge is trying to, he wants to move it up a month for you guys. So now about Brian Colber and his street apparel or whatever he'd be wearing, and this would cause a security issue. I'm going to go back and listen to that a little bit later tonight. So I'll be doing a recap late night for those of you guys that want to hear more about that, about how the clothes have anything to do with a safety concern. I mean, he basically told these parties and their attorneys that shit that was going on in Moscow is not going to happen here. Like, there is none. Y'all are going to get along. Okay, there's going to be none of this. Like, damn, I thought we were in like a classroom, and the teacher was like yelling at us, man. Like, I saw what you guys did when that substitute teacher was here. There's going to be no more of that, you know? So I didn't see that coming from Ann's side. I can tell you that. I think that this judge is going to be unbelievably like jaw-dropping when he hears these witnesses, like the lead detective talking about, we don't even know that answer. I didn't do that. I have no idea where that is. You know? So, all right. So then join me back later. I will post it up and then we can, we'll go over again what he said. If there's information that comes out, if there's a date that comes forward, I think Ann Taylor's going to be filing these motions to compel with discovery. And then I think they're going to hit him with a real quick, you know, what will end up happening here with these deadlines is that Ann Taylor has to get stuff in a lot quicker than for suppression hearings and things like that. So if it goes to September, she's giving herself more time with stuff like that. So I think we got a really good idea of how this is going to go, though, right? Like yeah. I think the judge is in a tough spot. Like, he's taken over a case there that's been around since, you know, Colber has been arrested. So, you know. Judge actually said that we're going to talk about that. We're truly going to talk about that. So I'm going to see if those interviews on News Nation and stuff like that are going to stop. I'm sure Shannon Gray's going to have some questions. What does this mean? We know he's going to be, I got questions. So I got questions. So expect that. What do you guys think in chat there? Let me know how you feel. Use the comment section of the video, but in chat right now, if you're in chat, what do you think? Liking the judge? You know, he wants it to just be about the law. He wants it to be about the facts. I like that. Facts in the law. Facts in the law. All right. And I like how he said like that, you know, we're not here. I know when the stakes are so high, people like they think that they're going against each other, that they're worried about like getting a victory or getting a win. You know how he said that? And he's like, but that's when people think when the stakes get so high, and it's just like thinking, you know, loving the judge, like the judge. He has a good first impression. Don't mess around. Judge wants info, not opinions. Just answer questions directly. I like him. Thought I wouldn't, but I do. Good. I feel better about this judge than about Judge. Yeah, I think he's strict, you know, more strict. And like I told you guys, he was going to be making these orders. They're not going to be writing up the orders anymore. And Judge was signing them. So yeah, I like how he also said like that, you know, that he's not like happy to be here, but he's filling his role, and it's never good to be good to see you guys, and I like that part too. I'm sure a lot of people are going to be mentioning about Brian Cover looking like he was one of the, you know, attorneys at the table. I'm sure you guys are going to hear a lot about that. I think to take that out, I hope that Ann Taylor, and I know that she will, they're gonna oral argue very well for that. Okay. Because I think that he has that right. Okay. So I don't think that we're going to be able to hear what, if any, 50 times in a row out of this judge. So I like that. What, if any? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Make yourself known in the comment section of the video, and on your way out, thumbs it up, thumbs it down. You have an opinion. Thank you so much. Peace. Thank you, moderators, members, subscribers, and then anybody. Oh, wait, hold on one second. If you were on the back end of hitting us up here, Karen, thank you so much. Karen, then she did 10 more memberships. Thank you so much. So I wanted to grab those. Karen, Danny, let's get some noise complaints going. You know it. Get that bell going. Noise complaints and bells. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I think I got everybody there. And thank you guys for the memberships. Thank you, mods. Join me later for a recap late night. Peace.